Did you know that 75% of high school seniors are accepted to their first choice colleges, but less than 57% can afford to attend? You're listening to the Daily Brew from the Stanford Daily. This is Chloe Barreau
and Leily Rezvani. On this week's episode, we take a deep dive into Stanford's admissions process. One last read-through and send. After polishing personal statements and school-specific essays for months on end to get them just right, surviving interviews and stressing out about the SAT, submitting the Common App is a triumphant day for any high school student. It means being able to finally relax and enjoy senior spring, all the while fantasizing about the college life to come. For many current students, the application process is still fresh in their minds.
It was really nerve-wracking, but I remember actually enjoying doing the application for Stanford.
Very stressful and very selective. I guess I feel lucky to be here. That's what everyone says.
Some of the questions really got me thinking for the application process. It was pretty thorough.
But Stanford's admissions process was called into question in a big way this year.
We're here today to announce charges in the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice.
In mid-March, the news of Operation Varsity Blue, a major bribery scandal in the college admissions world, broke.
Flurry of new indictments today ensnaring celebrities, CEOs, college coaches in a massive scheme to game the college admissions system.
Parents paid millions of dollars to Rick Singer, who used the money to bump up applicants, standardize testing scores, fabricate sports credentials, and bribe admissions officers. 11 major universities, including Stanford, were involved.
I was pretty shocked when I heard about it.
Initially, I was kind of surprised, to be honest.
I always thought that people were cheating the game somehow.
I didn't think there would be as explicit of an exchange.
What did surprise me was the amount that people had paid. I think it was $500,000 or something like that.
It was $6.5 million.
Oh, wow, yeah. See, this is very surprising. I was surprised by how high that number was.
6.5 million. That can pay dozens of students' tuitions for all 4 years. And it's just the money's kind of evaporated, right? That money's gone to Rick Singer, and yeah, that's just a crazy amount of money.
There's just a lot to do with privilege and higher education nowadays.
Shortly after the scandal was uncovered, Stanford expelled a sophomore for having falsified sailing credentials on her application. Was the expulsion the right decision? Here's what some students had to say.
I don't think someone whose family paid their way in without them knowing should be expelled at all. No. I don't think it's their fault, and I don't think it's fair to them to expel them for something that they had no control over.
Even if they knew about it?
If they knew about it, then they should be expelled.
So I don't think it'd be fair to take it back if the student really had no idea. But it's hard to tell if they knew or they didn't know. But if they genuinely didn't know, I don't think it's fair.
Others, however, think that allowing the student to remain would be a problematic stance for the university to take.
I can definitely see the argument for expelling this person because they didn't earn their way in and they took somebody else's spot. But at the same time, they've been here and they're not going to admit another more deserving person, whatever that nebulous idea means. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling about this. But then they're also going to have the benefit of a Stanford degree in that capital. So maybe they should be expelled.
I think it's the right thing for the school to do. Because they really have to get the message out there that donations are one thing, but there are the right ways to do it and the wrong ways to do it. And in her case, it's definitely the wrong way to do it.
It's more of a virtue signal where it's oh, we don't accept that sort of thing versus, this slot is going to a student who, right? It's that slot doesn't become vacant and someone else comes in. Mm-hmm. The slot just disappears. I think it's a really hard question of what sort of message the university wants to send.
There's 2,000 people get in from the whole world, right? If just a few of them get in this way, imagine the people who could have been in those spots who did not get in just because someone's mom paid somebody's coach to, that could have been you know, and then those people who could have done so much with education kind of missed that, and the society kind of lost something there.
If this is relevant at all, I was kind of unhappy with the way that Stanford media and other media were portraying the situation. It was kind of perpetuating this stereotype of the rich international student whose family paid their way into school, who isn't actually a good student or something. I feel if it were from another country, it would not have the same type of treatment in the media.
The scandal also raised questions about privilege. In a piece from the Stanford Daily, one undergraduate highlighted the unrecognized privileges many legacy or wealthier students have. From parental dedication to sports, test prep, music lessons, and traveling, privilege manifests itself at all stages of the college admissions process and continues to be relevant throughout students' school experience.
It's making other people think and starting a conversation about all legally sanctioned ways that people use their wealth and social capital to get admitted places.
I was part of the first-gen low-income community because I went through this program called QuestBridge that helps students from disadvantaged high schools or backgrounds. Kind of a big question in that community is do I deserve to be here? Was I just admitted because I'm it looks good for the university to admit students from these backgrounds.
The admissions scandal has actually brought up a lot of things for me because I'm someone who's a legacy student. And on top of that, I know that my grandparents have donated money to the school, which is something that I'm, I guess, very insecure about. So it definitely made me think about that because in the past, when I originally got in and things like that, I definitely at moments have felt I didn't belong here, or maybe I only got in because of that. What it brought up in me was just more thinking about how I felt about getting in. It made me feel really lucky that for whatever reason I was let in, and that it made me think that even if maybe it wasn't completely legit, or if someone made a mistake, or if I don't belong here, that all I can do now is just try to make the best of it.
I think that the vast majority of students that are here deserve to be here. The very few that might have gotten in, one, they aren't going to get the same value out of the education that somebody who deserves to be here is. You can probably get by just fine if you didn't get admitted in the standard way, but getting the education is more than that because you have to learn the information and gain the skills that you need. And I think that the students that deserve to be here are getting that more holistic experience.
Steve Massera, the chief financial officer of the company involved in the scandal, pled guilty to laundering $9.5 to $20 million, and it will help federal prosecutors with their investigation. Singer also cooperated with prosecutors and will be sentenced in September, while 19 parents continue to challenge the charges before court.
I think Stanford has established such a reputation that a few people paying their way in isn't going to change anything.
If anything, I feel like the reason why people are willing to put so much into doing something so illegal is because they value a Stanford education so much.
Yes, they inherently have value, and I'm really privileged to be able to attend this university. But I think it's a sort of toxic way at looking at your academic career. In the end, the school should be here to serve you rather than you creating the image of the school.
Regardless of how the situation is resolved, it is undeniable that the scandal has made students think and reflect on privilege, their experience with the admissions process, and what the true value of a Stanford education is.
This episode was produced by Chloe Barreau, Leily Rezvani, and Gi Jung,
with help from Kaylee Beam, Emma Bowers, and Alex Huang. To hear from other Stanford Daily podcasts, go to stanforddaily.com/podcasts. Signing us off is Talisman, performing live with their song Lift.